can't with nobody in here because they're all ops. As soon as she put her bag down on her desk, I walked up on her like, it's my fault that she's missing out on money. Like, she really trying to sit here and say like, oh yeah, Alicia, like, I don't have that much power to stop your bag, babe. You're misdirecting your energy to the wrong person right now, because it was Manny who came to me, because I was definitely about to go to HR on your ass. I was definitely really contemplating. She's like, because I'm losing out on $5,000 because of you.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like controller. Yeah, like control.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lisi, and I'm back again with another epic, juicy, ghetto, and drama-filled story time. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisi. My government is Alicia. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, what's good? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? What's crackin'? Y'all chillin'? Y'all chillin'? I bet. If this outfit look a little familiar, y'all can see your girl's clearly doing a little back-to-back videos right now, so not too much, okay? As I told y'all in the last story time, I would have another story time following immediately after, so this is it right here. Definitely don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Don't forget to submit your subscriber diary. If you want me to read your own story time, send it to this email right here down below, okay? And without further ado, let's just get into the story time. Now y'all see the title of today's video. It's more than likely story time. I stole her money. I stole her money. I stopped her bag. Literally stopped her bag. I don't know what y'all thinking this story is about to be or how it's about to play out, but y'all about to find out right mother now. This story time took place a few years ago. I want to say it took place in 2021. If y'all don't know, we're in 2024 currently, so that was a few years ago. And this occurred when around the time I had started working at my first car dealership. I've worked at 2 total. We got some more details, but we're gonna save that for another day, okay? I'm not gonna say the name of the dealership that I was working at for privacy purposes, but I was working at a affordable, you know, car dealership, kinda. And yeah, this was like my first job out of the scamdemic, okay? Because girl, in 2020, your girl ain't have a job. My job was unemployment money, okay? And this was the first job that I had got out of this pandemic, and it was to be a salesperson. You know, I've heard little things about sales in the past before. Stuff that would, you know, turn you off from taking like a sales job. So I was a little apprehensive with getting into the sales field and the car field, but I had been on several interviews at this point in time and they did not hire me, and this was the interview that I got that finally hired me. So I was like, all right, I need to just take it. Around this time, I had got hired in like a hiring group. And if y'all don't know, like, it's gonna be backstory. Like, this is the backstory before we get into the main story. So I don't wanna hear nobody saying, oh, I'm taking too long to get to the story. This is the backstory. Thank you very much. So it was like a whole bunch of us that got interviewed at the same time, and I was a part of like an auto group. So we had my dealership and we had 4 other brands dealership, but it was all under one owner. It was probably about me and I want to say 4 or 5 other people that got hired at the same time to be salespeople, okay? And you know, when we got into, you know, finally got hired and it was our first day or whatever, things like the energy, it didn't seem off, but like it just seemed like a little intimidating. The energy, I mean, as far as from the other salespeople that were already salespeople that were working there. But you know, everyone for the most part introduced themselves. And something for y'all to know up front was that the entire sales team, like let's say it was like, child, I don't even know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just did some calculations. Okay. Let's say there were 12 salespeople total, like including me and the new people and the old people. Everyone was a guy except for me and this other girl, and we'll name her. I fake don't want to name her anything petty because I don't have no beef with her or nobody at this point. This happened years ago, like, and I'm still kind of cool with people from the job, but I'm just gonna name her something petty still because I really don't fuck with her. So who really cares? Like, who really cares? I'm just gonna name her Op Ilyana, because that's what I was calling her when I was having these issues with her, Op Ilyana. So yeah, her name is gonna be Op Ilyana. So Op Ilyana was the only other female salesperson besides me. So before me and the new crew got there, she was really the only female salesperson. And I don't know if y'all know about female salespeople, not like there's a stereotype or whatever the case may be, but they claim that as a female, it is easier for us to sell cars because I guess we can use our feminine energy, feminine energy and sex appeal to sell cars, but it don't really give that with me. Like, I'm just gonna be myself, and if you F with me and you like the car and the price is right, then you're gonna buy the car. Like, I don't have to do all of that to, you know what I'm saying? But Op Ilyana, I noticed like off rip, like Op Ilyana, she was this petite Spanish girl. She had blonde hair, blue eyes. She looked like she had a BBL or something, like she had something going on. And she came to work every day in bodycon, skin tight skirts, wore heels every day, like, and she walked around like she was that bitch. Like, that's how, like, that's the energy that she gave, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't hating on her or nothing. I'm like, okay, sis, like, heard you. Like, I can't come to work in heels and walk around in heels all day, but that's you, boo. That's your business. Like, what I will say is that up front, like, I could tell that Op Ilyana embraced all the new people, which were guys, by the way, except for me. Like, she embraced me, like, hey, how you doing? But like, as far as like, not to say that she had to be cool with me because we're co-workers. We don't have to be cool. We don't have to be friends. But in my head at the time, I'm thinking like, okay, you're the only female, I'm the only female, like, we should stick together. Like, that's what's going on in my head. But she gave the energy that I was like a new piece of competition for her. Mind you, I didn't come to work in heels every day. Like, I didn't come to work trying to, you know, have my titties sitting high, ass out, stomach, like, I came to work in professional clothing and I looked normal. Like, I didn't do too much, but she did a lot. Like, let's just be real, she did a lot. I want to add too that the neighborhood that my dealership was in, it was in a predominantly Spanish neighborhood, and majority of my coworkers were Spanish. The dealership was diverse from the sales department, parts department, service department, was diverse, but majority of the salespeople were Spanish. Majority of the salespeople were Spanish, but just know the dealership was very much still diverse. You know, there would be often times when customers would come in and they would be Spanish speaking and I could not, you see, yo hablo un poquito español, yo no hablo mucho, un poquito. So I can't work a whole car deal in Spanish. Like, I just can't do, like, I could do the basic conversational stuff, but if we're getting deep like that, no, can't do that. Just keep that in mind because it's gonna make sense, y'all. It was like, here's the little things that I'm gonna tell y'all that I noticed that Op Ilyana, I don't know what type of animosity or why she had this weird energy towards me, but here's like the little inklings that I had that shorty did not like the fact that there was another female on the sales team. So I think it was like one day I was still doing like my training for like the job, because we had to do like hella training modules and pass all these tests and get certified in order to actually start getting on the floor and selling cars. And it was one day where all the desks were taken up, because mind you, as new people, we weren't just given desks right away. It was kind of like a first come, first serve basis. I noticed that Op Ilyana's desk was free. It was open. And I was like, ugh, I don't know, her energy is off. Because I don't know if I told y'all, like, I'm an empath. Like, I could feel when somebody's energy is off, especially towards me, and I didn't do ish to them, but be friendly and say nice, but for some reason they got an issue. I don't know. So I was already kind of feeling that with her, but I needed to do my training modules. So I was like, F it. I'm going to ask her, being that I noticed like she's not sitting at her desk at this time. She's not really over there. So let me just ask her if I could just use her desk to do my training modules. So I had went up to Op Ilyana and I was like, hey, Op Ilyana. I'm just laughing at the name, y'all. Like, I'm like, hey, Op Ilyana, could I just use your desk for a little bit just to do some of my training? Yo, immediately this girl, and mind you, let me just add to, like, at the time, I was probably, I want to say I was 22 years old. Like, yeah, I was 22 years old. And Op Ilyana, she had to be like 28, 29, maybe even 30. Maybe even 30. Okay, just know she had some years on me. Just know that. She was like,
Nobody sits at my desk. Nobody sits at my desk.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch.
Nobody sits at my desk. I was like, oh, okay, bitch. Like, cause the way she said it, she had like mad spice to it, and I'm like, okay, cause I just find it so funny because I literally seen other people, like, for example, like the person that she was training, because we all were assigned a salesperson that we were supposed to shadow and that would quote unquote train us. She had him sitting at her desk. I seen she had someone else sitting at her desk. I noticed like she would only let guys that were Spanish sit at her desk. Like, I could be bugging, but that's just what I noticed, okay? So that's one thing that had me like, her energy is off towards me. I don't know why. So the next thing was, it was one day, I don't know, I can't even remember like what I was complaining to these two guys about, but this is where I learned like, oh, I can't with nobody in here because they're all ops. Especially, and it's no shade, no disrespect to Spanish people, but because I was in a predominantly Spanish environment, I was noticing that all the Spanish people, I don't want to say all the Spanish people, but most of the Spanish people, especially in the sales department, they would stick together. Like, in my ass, I stuck out like a sore thumb, okay? I guess because I'm black. I don't know, like, but just know, like, the Spanish people, they stuck together at the job. So it was one day I was talking to these two guys, and for just some quick thinking, I'm just gonna name them Beavis and Butthead because that's exactly what they are. They're Beavis and Butthead, dumbass motherfuckers. I'm talking to Beavis and Butthead. Mind you, this is like 2 weeks that I've been into the job. And I'm talking to them about what I don't remember and I wish I did remember. But I'm talking to them in confidence because I'm thinking that, you know, since we're all new, you know, we're gonna stick together and we're gonna be cool. No, that's not the case. Don't ever think because you come in with people at a job like they're gonna be on your side or they're gonna have your best interests at heart. Don't trust nobody until they show you that they can be trusted, and even then I would still tread lightly. I'm outside complaining to them about whatever I'm complaining to them about, and whatever, we wind up going back inside, and I'm sitting at a desk doing one of my training modules because I was still doing them 2 weeks in at the job. And I think I was on FaceTime with my cousin at the time. So she had heard this entire exchange as well. So I'm doing my little training modules. I'm about to finish up one of them. It's probably about 10-15 minutes before closing time, so I'm excited because I'm about to go home. Like I said, 10-15 minutes before we're about to close and I'm finishing up my training modules, I hear what does that sound like to y'all? Heels walking real aggressively. Okay, I hear some heels coming in my direction, and sure enough, I look up and it's Op Ilyana, and Op Ilyana is approaching me and she's like,
So, what's the problem? Like, do you have, like, is everything okay? Like, do you have a problem? Is everything, like, what's going on?
I'm like,
she not talking to me. Like, you too fucking little to be.
she not talking to me. she's not talking to me. Oh, and let me just add too, like, I'll be honest, she was one of the top salespeople. Like, I'm not gonna say she was the top, because she was not the top, because it would bounce between her and someone else that would always be in tie or one car away from being the top salesperson. So I think she was a little big-headed because of that too. I'm looking up at her and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I just said like that. Like, because why are you coming up? Like, she wasn't OD hostile, but it was, the energy was hostile enough for me to be like, for me to sit up a little bit, like, who are you talking to? Like, so I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like,
Like, are you good? Like, is everything okay?
I'm like, yeah. And she looks at me and she's like, and walks off, bitch. I could not believe it. I could not believe it, because I'm mad confused. Like, I'm like, what was that? But then somehow I put two and two together that either Beavis or Butthead probably went to her. Mind you, I was not even talking about this girl. Like, that's the tea. Like, I was not talking. I know for a fact, y'all, even though I don't remember what I was complaining to them about, it had nothing to do with her. So I had put two and two together that, oh, these two dumb motherfuckers went to her, probably talking ish, and she thought that she had the jurisdiction to come up to me and question me. Okay, cool. So from there, that's when I knew, like, okay, I'm not effing with this bitch. She not effing with me. I'ma just keep it P. Like, I'ma keep it P, and I'm not gonna speak to her if it's not work related. Like, because even then too, like, another little instance, it was a time I was trying to key, and she had a straight face, and I noticed one of the guys was a keying with her, and she was ha 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 ha. But with me, it was just real stale. And I'm just like, what is this girl's problem? Like, I don't understand. Moving along, y'all. Like, let's move along now to, you know, further down in the story. I don't remember what point it was. It probably was like maybe a month or two or three into me working there and being a salesperson. Because then there was the thing too, like, I don't know, like, she was fake bipolar. Like, it would be some days, like, she would be nice to me, and there would be some days where you could just tell that she was in her bitch era. But it was at a certain point that information was disclosed to me that she was having an affair with one of the managers.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
Oh, I know there's probably someone from the dealership watching me, right? Watching this video right now. I really don't care. Like, for real, your girl really don't care, because I don't work there no more. I'm across the country. It is what it is. If anybody feels some type of way, I don't care. IDC, IDC, IDC. So yeah, it was a rumor that was going around that she was having an affair with one of the sales managers, bitch. So I'm like, oh, that's another reason why she be walking around thinking she that bitch, cause she in the manager. She's in the boss. I was like, oh, that makes sense, because I would just always notice, like, and this is gonna tie into the story, y'all. Just bear with me, please. So I would just always notice, like, she would be like always super close with him. Like, I heard, like, sometimes, like, they, not just them two, but like them and like whoever else been working there for years and they're cool with, like, they would go out after work and get drunk and all types of nonsense that I was hearing. And then on top of that, this manager, and because I can't think of a name right now, I'm gonna just call him, let's just call him Manny. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Manny, short for manager. This manager had a wife and 3 kids, bitch. And you, listen, Manny, if you watching, no shade, no disrespect to you, because you know what I'm saying? You was a little shady at certain points, but you winded up being a really cool person. So listen, like, I'm a Storytime channel. I do story times on my experiences. I mean, I don't think Manny knows about my YouTube channel, but I wouldn't put it past that someone told him about it. I really don't know. So Manny, if you watching this, no disrespect to you. Like, this is what I heard. This was my experience. So I'm telling it. I'm telling it, okay? So yeah, at the time, Manny was married with 3 kids, okay? And then I heard he having an affair with this petite, big booty, pert titty, blonde hair, blue eye girl at the job who walk around in bodycon, tight top ting every day, high heel every day. I was like, ooh, that is a mess. But I really didn't care because I'm like, that's none of my business. Like, I don't want him as long as it's not affecting my money. As long as it's not affecting my money, I really don't care who she busts her coochie open for. That ain't my husband. Now let's get into the story. We about to get into the story right now, y'all. And this is something that I'll touch on at a later time because this is kind of something that I recently kind of just went through. Let me just put out there, y'all. When I was at my first dealership, I was in the sales department for maybe about 4 months and I switched to a different department. It was still kind of like sales, but not really, because all the stuff that you have to do to like in sales, where you have to meet a customer, try to get them to trust you and like you, sell them the car, take them on a test drive, do the negotiation and the numbers, like I didn't have to do that in the second department that I went to. But I learned within like those first couple of months that I don't think that this is something that is for me, because you basically swimming with sharks in the sales environment and you got to learn how to swim with the sharks. If you a goldfish, you better get your big fin, get your big fish energy and turn into a shark. And it's a very cutthroat environment. Like, it can be a cutthroat environment, especially when you're new. And then just speaking of like cutthroat and just weird behavior, I forgot to mention too, there was a time where I had a customer and I was still fairly new at the job, and it was a couple and they were Spanish, but they clearly spoke English because they were speaking with me. They were very fluent in English, and somehow Op Ilyana came in to assist me, which meant that it was going to be a half of a deal, because that's what happens in the sales environment. If someone helps you, you're automatically splitting that deal, splitting the money that you make off of that sold vehicle with that person. So she came in to help me on the deal because, you know, like I said, she was one of the top salespeople. So it was like every customer she got, somehow she magically sold them. So she was basically assisting with that process. And when it came to like, you know, speaking to the customers, she had asked them,
¿Tú hablas español?
and it was like, sí. And she was like, oh, and it was like the whole like negotiation aspect of like getting the numbers together for the deal and everything. She just spoke to them in Spanish, knowing damn well that I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker. Like, I can understand a little bit, I can speak a little bit, but I'm not fluent. Like, especially when it comes to talking numbers and a whole bunch of stuff. So me personally, I just found that weird and shady, because it's just like, you know that I'm new. The reason you're stepping in to help me with this customer is because I can't close them, and there's a higher chance that you can close them. But you decide to just speak in Spanish with the customers, what, so that I can't get put on to how you close customers? Like, what the, like, it was just little weird stuff like that, which just made me be like, yeah, I can't F with this girl. I don't F with this girl. She's a weirdo. She's in competition with me, and I don't know why. Like, I really don't know why. There's nothing to be in competition with. It was even so funny or so crazy because it came to the point where, you know, I was trying to figure out how to sell more cars. Like, I was having like a little difficulty with volume as far as like selling cars and stuff like that. And one of my coworkers told me one day, they was like, oh,
well, maybe if you start dressing like Alpha Ilyana, you'll start selling more cars.
and I was just like,
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
what? So let's get into the story, okay? Sorry, y'all, I got little notes. So it was like one day, I don't know how many months I was into the job at this point, but it was, like I said, it was probably like 2-3 months that I had been there. And I had a customer, or the customer had called into the store. I just so happened to answer the phone. When I had answered the phone, and that in the sales environment, that is called a phone up. So I took a phone up. And I'm speaking to this customer, and this customer is telling me that He wanted one of the sports cars that we had, because again, I'm not exposing the brand that I worked for. He was interested in one of the sports cars that we had available, and it was like a really expensive sports car that was actually sitting in our showroom. Like, it was the only one that we had. And I was like, oh, he want this? Because I knew, oh, I'm about to make some money off of this car. Like, it's about to be lit. I'm speaking with the customer. He's like, yeah, I want to come in today and buy the car. Like, I'm really interested in getting this car, blah, blah, blah. So I had made an appointment. Well, I don't think I made it did I make an appointment? I think I did. I think I made an appointment in the system for him so that it was already in my name. And when I had searched up, like when I had typed in the customer's information on the website that we use for customers, I had noticed that it was only a BDC agent's name on the customer profile. And if you don't know what BDC is, that is Business Development Center, and that's the department that I had winded up transferring to. Being that there was the policy is that if there's no salesperson's name on a customer, that customer is up for grabs. So at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, this is about to be my customer. This is about to be an easy deal, because for this type of sports car, like if someone is calling in on this car, they're going to get the car. Like, there's no questions asked, they're going to get the car. So I just knew, like, okay, this is going to be a sold. I'm going to get me a sold. I'm about to be in the money. So the customer probably arrives to the dealership. Mind you, it's probably like early morning sale. Like, let's say it's probably like, I don't know, 10, 11 a.m. The customer arrives probably an hour after we had spoke on the phone, and he comes in and I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, I'm doing good. Da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, oh yes, your car is right here, sir. It's right here in the showroom waiting for you. He's like, oh, okay, nice. Blah blah blah. So I sit down, I start gathering his information, whatever I needed to gather to bring to my manager and let my manager, Manny, know that yes, I have this customer here and he will be purchasing this vehicle today. Gather the information. I tell Manny, sit tight. I'm about to go to my manager and start getting everything ready for you. He's like, okay, cool. I go to Manny. Mind you, there's typically 2 sales managers that, help with working deals and whatever the case may be. So I think conveniently, the sales manager that I would typically go to, that I was cooler with, he was off this day. So I had no choice but to go to Manny. Go to Manny. I'm like, hey, Manny, I have this customer. Here's his information. He wants the car. Do-do-do-do, blase, boom. So Manny, he started going on the computer and looking up the customer information, and he looking at the paper that I gave him with the customer information and everything. He was like,
how did you get this customer?
I was like, is this man shocked that I was able to get a sports car customer? An expensive sports car customer? Like, I'm confused. I was like, he called in, I made an appointment, and he came in and now he wants to buy the car. That's how I got the customer. He was like, oh.
This is Apeliana's customer.
I was like, huh? He was like,
yeah, like, this is Apeliana's customer. Like, did you not see her name on the customer profile when you put in all this information?
I'm like, no, like her name was not on the customer profile. Like, what are you talking about? Mind you, the way, like, it's called like the desk, right? So the way the desk is set up, or it was set up at this particular dealership, like, it's literally like they have a desk, right? They're like at desk level, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully I can explain it so that y'all can understand it. Like, the desk is kind of like raised, so it's like a ledge, and it's like you're looking down at the manager and they're kind of looking up at you, to the point where you can't see what's going on their computer, right? No, I didn't see her name. And my thing is, I know that I'm not dumb, and I know that I can read. I'm not illiterate. Like, I know what the policy is. I know that, especially, I didn't want those problems. I didn't want no problems. Nobody trying to curse me out, trying to say I'm trying to steal their customer or whatever the case may be. Okay, y'all see where I'm going. He's like, yeah, her name is like on there, she spoke with the customer already, like, and she already had it set up for him to come in today. And I'm like, really? Because he didn't ask for her when he came in. He didn't ask for her when he called. He didn't ask for her when he came in. He didn't even mention that he spoke to anybody other than me before he came here. So how is it that this customer is hers? Like, I'm mad confused. He was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I was just so pissed off because it's just like, I already had the intel that Manny and Op Ilyana was fucking on the low, drinking on the low, mobbing on the low. So you telling me I got a manager to get ahead in life? Is that what y'all telling me? I gotta fuck the boss? Because clearly that's all it takes to just get customers handed to you at this point. That's what I'm feeling, because I'm like, her name was not on the thing. I'm pissed off. So I had just walked away from the desk. I walk away from the desk. I walk back over to the desk that I was sitting at. And I tell the customer, I'm like, hey, did you speak with anyone named Op Ilyana? He was like, I mean, I know I did speak with someone, and now he tells me that he spoke with someone before me, but obviously my whole thing is he didn't care to work with her. He didn't care to work with her because you ain't mentioned the name at all. So now he tells me like, yeah, I did speak with someone earlier, but like, I don't really remember what their name was or anything like that, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, my manager, he told me because, you know, you spoke with Op Ilyana earlier, whenever you spoke with her, I'm not sure when you spoke with her, but whenever you spoke with her, she's actually gonna have to be your salesperson and it's not gonna be me. And he was like, oh, really? Really? Like, dang, like, cause I really like you. I'm like, I know, sir, like, I understand. Like, the customer was really effing with me and effing with my vibe. Like, no cap, no kizzy. Like, I was like, yeah, so, you know, she's gonna come over in a second, like, introduce herself to you. He's like, oh, all right, okay, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I didn't storm out of the dealership, but I had walked out of the dealership because I needed to call someone to vent to, because I was on, like, the edge, or what's the saying? The edge of a nervous breakdown. I think, y'all know what, I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I really just wanted to curse somebody out and start blacking. So I had called well, not curse the person out that I was about to call, but yeah, I had called my cousin and I just needed to vent to her because I was just getting so just irritated with like the cutthroat behavior, the favoritism that I was seeing, the fact that, and then mind you, I forgot to tell y'all too, when I had went back and talked to the customer, I had went on the profile for him. All of a sudden, Op Ilyana's name was on the profile. Like clear as day. I'm like, yo, this is something that I would have seen. So I personally felt like on top of all of that, I felt like Manny had did some slick shit and added her name to the customer profile in the middle of me and him talking, because clearly I could not see his computer. Clearly I could not see his computer. And I look and I see all of a sudden her name is added. Like, I'm pissed off now. Like, I'm ready to just curse somebody out and quit this job, because it's just like, if you've ever been in a sales environment, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, because it's just like, sales is a job that is just like, whatever you're selling, if you're not selling anything or enough of it, you're not making money. It's not like a job where you have a set salary, or it's not a job where you have an hourly pay, or even like a serving job or bartending job where your hourly might be a little lower than the state minimum wage, but you're guaranteed gonna make some money as long as, you know, the restaurant is busy and people are coming in and you give people good service. Like, sales is nothing like a regular 9 to 5. Y'all get what I'm saying? Oh, okay, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. So I go outside, I'm like walking around the block, calling my cousin, blacking on my cousin, like, yo, I'm tired of this shit, yo, I'm tired of this shit, I don't want to do this shit no more, bro. Like, they really just took this customer from me, and like, I'm spazzing. So in the midst of me, you know, venting to my cousin and everything, I see that I'm getting an inbound phone call on my phone from Manny. And I'm like, hold on, girl, let me call you back, and because my manager is calling me, let me see what this want. Let me see what he want. I answer Manny's phone call and he's like, hey Alicia, where you at? I was like, oh, I'm just out. I'm in the bathroom. I told him I'm in the bathroom. I told him I was outside. He's like, all right, well, when you get a chance, come back inside, okay? Or not come back inside. He was like, when you're done with the bathroom, just come back to the desk, okay? I'm like, okay. I go back to the desk and I'm like, hey Manny, what's up? Like, and I'm sure he could tell my energy is off. He was like,
all right, listen, I'm just gonna have you and Op Ilyana split the deal, so you guys are gonna work together to get the car ready for the customer and everything like that, okay?
I was like, oh.
That's what I'm fucking talking about! Let's go!
Okay, period. Because I was definitely about to go to HR on your ass. I was definitely really contemplating going to HR on your bitch ass. But you know what? You came to your senses. Because he was probably, because he knew it was some, I know he knew, and I know he was a part of whatever suspect-ish was going on with that customer in Op Ilyana. He was in on it too. And he probably was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this girl like this. I'm gonna have to cover my ass and have both of these girls be on the deal, because he knew damn well Op Ilyana's name was not on the customer profile when I talked to the fucking customer. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I go back over to the customer. The customer is still sitting at my desk. I go back over to him. Mind you, this is probably about, let's say, I don't know, 8 minutes after I told him X, Y, and Z. And I go back over to him and I'm like, oh, great news, customer. My manager told me that, you know, me and Op Ilyana will be, you know, working with you together. So, you know, you'll still get to work with me, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yay, that's great. That's amazing. I'm like, okay, great. Like, amazing. Like, it'll be half a deal. But I know that, you know, even though I'm only getting half worths of money commission from this car, I know it's still gonna be a decent amount of money because this was a very expensive car. Op Ilyana, she comes over to my desk and I could just tell, like, she just got bitter bitch energy. Like, she got real bitter bitch, real stank energy. Like, she don't want to be splitting this deal with me right now. Like, bitch, I don't want to be splitting the deal with you either, but it is what it is. I could tell, like, she wants to just go over to, like, her desk and everything, and she telling the customer, like, oh, you could just follow me to my desk. The customer don't get up. The customer don't get up. He sat there at my desk. He was like, I don't even think he said, nah, I'm not trying to get up. Like, I'm cool right here. Like, he didn't get up. Like, so his, what's the word? His, like, body signals, or like whatever this word is, y'all know what I'm saying, like, was basically stating, like, ma'am, I'm not getting up and going to your desk. I'm staying right here. Like, and you could just tell, like, the customer was effing with me more than Op Ilyana. And then you could just tell, like, that was bothering shorty. Like, it was bothering her. She was a little, her feathers was a little ruffled. We getting everything together for the customer. Like, we're getting, like, you know, insurance, license plates, everything together. You know, I'm being really professional, and, you know, I'm communicating with her and telling her XYZ, da da da. And, you know, when the plates and, you know, registration and everything was ready, I was like, yo, Op Ilyana, I'm about to go put the plates and everything on the car and take the stickers off, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, cool. So the car is near where our service department is at. I think I already had someone bring it to, like, the detail shop to, like, clean it for me or whatever. I set all of that up because it was a stick shift and I can't drive stick. So I had one of, like, the service guys bring it for me. And it was so funny because when I was talking to one of the service guys and asking him, like, hey, can you bring this to detail for me because I can't drive manual? He was like, yeah, no problem, da da da. He was like, oh, so you sold this? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, but it's a split deal with Op Ilyana, like, her weird ass, da da da. And he started laughing. And me and him started a keying because he knew about the intel too. And I briefly told him, like, the little mini story. Well, not the mini story, but I briefly told him what I just told y'all. And he was like, oh yeah, that don't sound off brand, because she definitely fucking him. She definitely fucking him. So it makes sense on why. I was like, and it was just a whole key moment that me and this man was having. Like, I couldn't believe it, child. So now let's fast forward back to now where I'm about to put the plates and everything on the car. And, you know, we have to, like, take the stickers off. Y'all know if y'all ever bought I'm pretty sure they put stickers on used cars. But you know when you buy a car, like, it got all them stickers and stuff on it. Like, yeah, we was responsible for taking all that off. I don't know if I'm putting the plate on, taking the sticker off. I'm doing something, y'all, to where I'm sitting in the passenger side of the car and I have the door open. And mind you, this is, like, outside. As I'm doing all of that, I hear, like, the back door where the service department is, I hear the door bust open. I hear the door bust open. And I hear a So y'all know who coming, right? Y'all know who coming. None other than Ilyana is stomping her way in her little click, click, clickety clack heels over to Lise. And she coming with some aggression too. Like, and I look up and I'm like, is this bitch good? Like, is she okay? Like, why she coming over here to me like this? Like, so she come over and she's like,
I am so irritated right now.
and I'm like, okay, why are you irritated? Like, and why are you bringing this to me as if we be a kiki-kin? She like, well, I didn't say a kiki-kin. I just asked her like, okay, and why are you irritated? Like, I'm confused. She's like,
Because I'm losing out on $5,000 because of you.
I said, damn, bitch. What?
me? Oh, no. You're not talking to me. You're not talking to me, baby. You're not talking to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? So I start fixing myself, getting real, because I was real relaxed before, but now I start sitting up. I'm like, well, I'm about to have to start standing up because the door is open. I'm sitting in the car and she walked up like mad close on me and she's standing like above me type shit. And I'm like, nah, let me sit up real quick just because I'm gonna back up, bitch. Like, she wasn't gonna do nothing though. She was in heels. Like, all right, let me just continue. She's like, oh, you went to management and told them that you wanted to be on this car deal and da 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 da. I'm like, Ilyana, hold on. You directing your energy, you're misdirecting your energy to the wrong person right now, because it was Manny who came to me and told me that I could be on the deal. I don't remember all the exact words, but it was something along those lines, y'all. So I told her, I'm like, yeah, you need to go ahead and talk to your manager, because that's the person who authorized this whole transaction. I was told that you so-called spoke to the customer and the customer was going to be yours, but it was Manny who called me back after I left the customer alone and told me that it was going to be a split deal. So you need to have that conversation with him and not me. Like, who is you talking to, bitch? Like, oh my God. So when I had said all of that, Ilyana was like a deer caught in headlights. She was like,
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? My apologies. My apologies. You know, we don't have no problems. We don't have no problems.
she go out and she grabbed my hand. She's shaking my hand. She's like, we don't have. I'm like, bitch, like, don't fucking touch me, bitch. She like,
I'm sorry, like, we don't, like, because, you know, it was communicated to me in a completely different manner, but, you know, I don't have no problems with you, you know, I'll just take that up with management, da-da-da-da-da.
Like, my fault, my apologies, da-da-da-da. And I'm just like,
child. Anyway, so
we don't have no problems, bitch. That's what you think, because now I have a problem. I already wasn't messing with your energy, and then you turn around and do this, and all of this suspect stuff. As y'all can imagine, I was thrown, because I was just like I'm really trying to keep it cute and professional because I'm at work, but you got me effed up, sis. Like, you really got me effed up right now, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Whatever, I get the rest of the car ready, and I just have like a real, like, I don't have an attitude, but I'm just like, I can't wait to get out of here, because motherfuckers got me effed up at this point. We got the car ready and everything. The customer came out to go look at the car, and it was so funny because the customer bought this car and really didn't know how to drive a manual car. He didn't know how to drive a stick shift at all. To the point where he got in the car and he was about to pull off to drive the car home, and the like low-key crashed into the service garage. So yeah, this man literally crashed. I mean, it wasn't no crazy crash. He did a little love tap. And hit and slammed on the brakes, but it made like a loud enough noise that mad people came outside and was like, what's going on? What's going on? Nigga dumb. I'm like, all it is for the man to not even know how to drive the car. But at that point, he had already paid for the car and everything, so it was what it was. Mind you, one of my coworkers who did know how to drive stick, he had came out when he heard like the loud boom or whatever, and the customer comes out the car. He's like, oh, it's been a while since I drove stick. And we just all looking at him like, sir, how did you just buy this expensive ass car and you don't know how to drive it? And you're supposed to drive it back home. Like, you didn't even bring anybody with you that knows how to, like, it was just a mess, girl. So one of my the coworker that knew how to drive stick, he had backed the car up. Why was like the front, like in the hood, like a little scratched up, and this car was white and like the scratch was like black. Like, girl, it was a mess. Like, that kind of like was like a little lighthearted moment at the end of my day, because we was just all gagged. Like, we was just all like, what the, like, my coworker had to wind up spending like an hour of his time, because that was like the end of the day at this point. Like, the dealership was closing, so my coworker took the time to teach this man how to drive home, so at least he could make it home safely. You know, I had went home and I had told my mom about my day or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I really don't like the fact that, you know, I see what's going on. It was some suspect stuff going on. Clearly, Manny felt bad about, you know, trying to take the customer away, because he knew that this, like, Ilyana, either she never talked to the customer, or he handed her the customer and they was trying to do some under the table type of ish. It was some under the table type of ish going on, and he knew that if he didn't have me on that deal, he would have got caught up. But what you failed to do was to communicate to her what the new plan was, because why did she feel comfortable coming up to me, questioning me, talking about she's missing out on money, as if it's my fault that she's missing out on money. Like, she really trying to sit here and say like, oh yeah, Alicia, like, I don't have that much power to stop your bag, babe. Like, but yeah, bitches is accusing me of stopping their bag. Like, okay, like, whatever, cool. Yeah, my mom, she basically told me, she was like, yeah, you need to let her know, like, she cannot talk to you any old type of way, because I was already telling my mom like little things like that I would notice with her at the job. And my mom was like, yeah, she needs to get put in her place. Like, Alicia, like, she cannot talk to you crazy. Like, she needs to know she can never approach you like that again. So when you go into work tomorrow, you let her know anytime she approaches you, she needs to do so in a professional manner. She needs to watch her tone when she comes and speaks to you. I'm like, okay, mommy. Like, my mom was a bit more turned to me, because she don't play about her doctor. She don't play about me, okay? Like, so I was like, okay, bet. Like, when I go into work tomorrow, I'm gonna tell sis straight up, like, as soon as she come in too. Because mind you, I think like the next day was a day that I came in at 11, I came in at 9 a.m. and she came in at like 12 p.m. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself ready to tell this whole lower your tone, because you could get hit. So sure enough, y'all, it was the next day, and it was so crazy, y'all, because y'all probably gonna think I'm a little crazy, but I recorded this interaction.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
Yeah, I sure did. I sure did record it. Just in case anybody, and I only recorded it like not on some like trifling stuff, y'all. Like, I recorded it in the event like I needed to use that, in the event some drama popped off between me, because I just didn't know like what type of timing like this girl was going to be on. And I'm just saying that because I had a previous experience at another job where I had to check a girl and she was going bat-ish crazy, but shh, that's a story for another day. I ain't gonna get that one yet. Yeah, I just had to have it recorded because, yeah, y'all are probably gagged. Let me pull up the recording if it's still in my voice memos. Hopefully it is. I have located the voice memo. Y'all are probably gagged. Like, oh my God. Like, listen, y'all, I don't go around recording people. Like, I had this in the event I needed to protect myself if some BS went down at this job. So, and it's receipts for the story time, just in case somebody thinks I'm lying. Because, you know, people be commenting thinking I be making up ish. I don't have the time to make up ish. You don't be mad at me because my life is crazy, baby. Okay, period. Okay, so let me just tell y'all what happened. So boom, Aunt Ilyana, she came into work, and as soon as she got to her desk, like I was like on the lookout for her. As soon as she got in, as soon as she put her bag down on her desk, I walked up on her. Like I walked up on her to her desk because I'm like, I don't want to waste no time. I want to get this out of the way so things is just clear. I'ma just play it. I'ma just play it, and we're gonna listen to it together. I just want to make clear too, like this was done before I even had a YouTube channel. So no, I didn't record me and this girl conversation because I knew I was going to use it for a story time. This is a little time before my YouTube channel became a thing. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Okay. So I don't want to get too deep into everything from yesterday, but I just want to let you know, like when you initially approached me, I really didn't appreciate like how you came at me. So just moving forward, I would appreciate, or no, not even that. I would, moving forward, when you come and approach me, just please be in a professional manner.
Of course.
That's it.
Next time, if with anybody across the board, you see somebody's name, just respect them. That's it. Even if somebody tells you, oh, hey, no, it's going to be a split deal, you, as a respect for your coworkers, you say, no, I don't want that because I didn't do anything. I didn't speak to the customer. I didn't do anything. I'm not. The same way I would do for you.
Cap.
If somebody came and told me, oh, hey, no, don't worry, you're going to split the deal, I would be like, no, I haven't done anything. The fuck, I didn't sell a car. Doesn't make sense for me to get half a deal on a car I didn't sell. So that was my problem because I worked them on the phone for like an hour. Okay, so that's why I was upset because it's like everybody knows you have to sell a car in order to put a deal together. Customers don't just walk in. Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, I've had that before. People.
But it's not. You still have to sell a car. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But so this one you didn't have to sell the car because I already sold the car twice. So the same motherfucker.
Okay.
So that's it. But no worry, I approached you wrong because it was presented to me completely wrong too. So of course that got me heated because I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And so it was presented to me as if you were snaking me. Yeah. So I'm never gonna approach somebody nicely who's stealing from me.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You wouldn't either. I wouldn't either, but I'm not someone who steals.
Saying, oh, you're stealing. You're making it. Somebody's amping you up like you're stealing from them. You're not gonna approach them nicely. You're not gonna be like, yo, oh, hey.
But you know, we're in the workplace still. I get it, but I didn't
approach you aggressively like I was trying to fight you. I just like was like, yo, next time check the screen.
I checked it, so yeah. But that's that on that.
You know, so just next time, you know, good because honestly,
okay, so I'm just gonna stop it there. I'm just gonna stop it there, and as y'all can see, is there a way for me to show y'all like? Oh wait, as y'all can see, this voice memo is from 2021, a little time ago. So yeah, that's how like the conversation went, and I basically cut it because the bitch just started like rambling on about a whole bunch of stuff. Like y'all heard the interaction when I went to go check Shorty. I wouldn't say I was like nervous, but like I was just like a teeny weeny nervous just because it's just like the person I am today is not the person I was then. Like the person I am today, like I will check somebody with like no questions asked, but like I was in like my era of like really getting comfortable with like being forward with people. I mean, I still did it, so y'all can't say I do it. You can't say your girl ain't do it. Your girl ain't still check the girl. But you can see like, this is why the story is titled, I stole her money, because she really swore up and down like I was trying to steal her money and telling me next time, check the da-da-da-da. No, next time, check your man, bitch.
Clock it.
Check the somebody's husband that you're sleeping with, bitch.
Clock it.
Check him to make sure y'all are on the same page, because clearly y'all wasn't bookie. Clearly y'all wasn't all like, oh, next time, check. That's why y'all heard me say, I said I checked it. I checked it and your name was not there. Anyways. Yeah, I forgot to mention too, this is like a little blooper because I literally just finished recording, but I don't feel like putting the camera back up. I had did some investigatory work, okay? Because she claims that she was speaking on the phone with the customer an hour before he came in and I didn't do any work to sell the car and blah, 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 blah. I was trying to figure like, out, like, how did she even talk to this customer? Like, where did she talk? Because my thing is, the whole thing is with the sales job or whatever the case may be, or at this car dealership, like, anytime you speak to a customer, you're supposed to put notes in the system. Like, there is a section for you to put notes so that at least if your name is not on the customer profile, there are notes to support that you actually spoke with this customer. She did not put no notes and her name was not on the thing. Then come to find out, it was someone in the BDC person whose name was on the profile. That is who, I guess, told her about the customer or told her to call the customer. Girl, I don't know, but either way, next time, make sure you're a bit more swift with your job, babe, so that you don't run into problems like this. Anyways, y'all, that is that story time about how I stole this girl's money. And as y'all can see, like, y'all could probably hear, like, towards when I just cut off the voice note, like, I don't know if y'all heard a chair, like, getting up, because I had sat down at her desk and, you know, came to her very calmly, whatever the case may be. But when she started rambling, I had, like, got up, took out the chair, pushed it in, because I'm like, girl, I'm not about to sit here and, like, have this whole, like, I came to you, I said what I said, and that's it. You over here trying to explain yourself and whatever the case may be and whatever, like, and y'all can see, like, I was very short with what I was saying, because it's just like, I did not care to have a back and forth with you. I came here to tell you to watch your mouth, and that's it. I'm not about to go back and forth with you on what happened. Next time, you need to check the lady's husband that you're sleeping with to make sure that y'all are on the same page about the that you're doing. That's what you need to do next time. If you made it to the end of this video, put this emoji on the screen. Definitely don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Today is April 20th, 4/20, y'all. I have not, at this point currently, I have not posted at all for the month of April. So these two videos that y'all will get, I mean, y'all are getting it towards the end of April. But we're at 6.5K right now. The last time I posted, we was at 6K. So let's get to 7K, 8K, 9K, 10K, 100K. Gang, gang, gang. Okay? Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next story time. Later.
I think I lie